Ever wondered how to tell if you've entered a conservative or progressive Amish household? Modern homes overflow with technology, comfort, and decoration. But Amish homes reveal their strictness level through 12 unmistakable signs. Understanding these signs unlocks the hidden spectrum of Amish conservatism: complete absence of electricity. No electrical outlets, switches, or wiring visible anywhere indicates strictest communities who reject even hidden conveniences. Oil lamps and candles provide only lighting after dark, with no electric appliances or refrigeration. Why this indicates strictest communities connects to progressive Amish, allowing some electricity from solar panels, while strictest reject all electrical connection as worldly compromise. How to spot this immediately involves looking at walls for outlets, checking ceilings for light fixtures, and noticing what lights the home. The reasoning views connection to electrical grid as dependence on outside systems compromising self-sufficiency. Modern expectation assumes electricity as basic necessity, while they view it as corrupting convenience. No indoor plumbing. Hand pump at kitchen sink provides only indoor water source, with outhouse for bathroom facilities and no hot water heater. Why strictest homes reject plumbing connects to indoor plumbing being seen as excessive comfort and connection to municipal systems. How this affects daily life includes hauling water for all purposes, heating water on wood stove, and using outhouse in all weather. The practical challenges multiply with bathing requiring extensive preparation, laundry being all-day task, and winter complications with frozen pumps. Teaching children about water discipline means understanding not to waste precious resource requiring labor to access. Modern plumbing gets taken completely for granted with instant hot water assumed. Plain furniture. Simple wooden furniture without any upholstery indicates strictest adherence to plainness, with straight-backed chairs without cushions and plain tables without decorative elements. Why decoration indicates worldliness connects to beauty for beauty's sake, representing pride. How to identify strict furniture includes checking for carved details, noticing natural wood finish without stain, and observing purely functional design. The theological basis views rejecting vanity in all forms as essential to humility. Building character through hard chairs trains children to endure discomfort. Modern furniture expectations prioritize comfort and style, while their intentional plainness maintains function over aesthetics. Wood stove. Single wood stove in main room, heating entire house represents strictest approach, with no central heating and cold bedrooms remaining unheated in winter. Why this indicates strictness connects to modern heating being rejected as luxury beyond necessity. How to spot this includes large wood stove dominating main room, stovepipe going through ceiling, and substantial woodpile near door. The heating challenges include upstairs rooms barely receiving heat, morning fires before family wakes, and constant wood supply needed. Teaching children fire management includes loading stove properly and understanding heat conservation. Modern heating expects warm entire house with thermostatic control. No curtains, bare windows with no coverings provide complete visibility from outside into home with no privacy screens, blinds, or even simple fabric curtains blocking view. Complete visibility from outside means anyone walking or driving past can see directly into home at all times, particularly noticeable at night when lamps illuminate interior activities. Why curtains indicate pride connects to decoration and vanity being avoided even in purely functional items and having nothing to hide from community members who might observe activities. How this affects family life profoundly includes everyone seeing inside at night when lamps are lit, no visual privacy from neighbors or passersby on road, and family members needing to dress away from windows to avoid exposure. The theological reasoning emphasizes transparency in living without secrets or hidden activities, community accountability through visibility of daily life, and no secrets from brethren who can observe family's righteousness. Teaching children about openness includes understanding that living righteously always means no need for privacy, accepting that community may observe their activities, and developing comfort with constant potential visibility. Modern privacy expectations use curtains automatically without thinking, viewing privacy as basic right necessary for comfort and dignity, while their radical transparency maintains nothing hidden from view and accountability through constant exposure. Gender-segregated spaces. Men's and women's areas being clearly divided throughout house shows strictest gender role enforcement, with separate seating at all times during gatherings and different workspaces designated by gender. Separate seating at all times means men sitting on one side of room and women on opposite side during any social gathering, meal, or church service. Why strict homes enforce separation, prevents inappropriate mixing between genders outside marriage, maintains clear role boundaries that might blur through casual proximity, and teaches gender-specific behaviors through spatial division. How to observe this immediately includes noticing men sitting one side of room during visit and women on opposite side without mixing. Kitchen being exclusively women's domain that men rarely enter, and barn and workshop being men-only spaces women avoid except for specific chores. The church service reflection shows same separation continuing during worship, with men and women sitting on opposite sides of room and children sitting with same gender parent rather than family units together. Teaching gender roles through space means boys learning which areas belong to men and staying out of women's spaces, girls being restricted to women's spaces and avoiding men's work areas, and understanding boundaries through physical separation enforced from early childhood. Modern integrated living shares all spaces equally, regardless of gender, with gender-neutral room use being normal and separation seeming outdated and discriminatory. German Bibles? All religious texts being in High German with no English Bibles visible anywhere indicates strictest maintenance of linguistic tradition. No English Bibles visible suggests family rejects translation as modernization, maintaining exclusive use of German for all religious practice and study. Old German prayer books and hymnals from centuries ago remain in use without updated language or contemporary translations, making texts accessible to younger generation. Why language indicates strictness connects to English, suggesting modernization and accommodation to broader society, while German maintains exact tradition of ancestors without compromise or update. How to spot this marker includes checking bookshelf contents for any English religious texts, noticing what language prayer books use during family devotions, and listening to language used during family prayers before meals. The language preservation maintains High German exclusively for worship and Bible reading, Pennsylvania Dutch for everyday conversation among community members, and English only for business necessity when dealing with outsiders. Teaching children German first means learning to read archaic German script before English, understanding archaic language and vocabulary no longer used in modern German, and viewing linguistic maintenance as preserving exact ancestral practice without evolution. Modern translation expectations use contemporary language Bibles for accessibility, with readable translations valued as making scripture understandable, while their archaic text maintenance preserves exact ancestral practice and resists all linguistic modernization. No pictures or mirrors on walls. Completely bare walls without any family photos, artwork, or decorative items marks strictest interpretation of graven images prohibition. No family photos or artwork means walls remain blank, white, or plain color without any visual interest or personal expression through displayed items. No mirrors, except small hand mirrors for grooming means no wall-mounted mirrors for checking appearance, and no opportunity for vanity through self-viewing. Why images indicate worldliness connects to graven images prohibition from Second Commandment being interpreted strictly, and vanity through creating and viewing images of human faces representing pride. How bare walls reveal strictness shows progressive homes sometimes allowing limited photos, while strict homes keep walls absolutely bare without even calendars containing pictures of nature or animals. The theological basis interprets Second Commandment as prohibiting all image-making of living things, views pride through image-making and display as violating humility principles, and teaches humility through absence of visual commemoration. Teaching humility through absence means not commemorating own faces through photographs, accepting no visual record of family history or ancestors' appearance, and avoiding all self-focus through mirror viewing beyond basic grooming necessity. Modern photo culture documents everything visually with cameras and phones, displays photos everywhere in homes as decoration and memory preservation, while their complete image absence means no family history preserved in pictures and all memories maintained without visual aids. Extreme tidiness. Everything in precise place with no clutter or casual items left out shows military-level organization that strictest families maintain constantly. No clutter or casual items means nothing sits on counters between uses, no dishes drain on racks, and no books or papers left out casually. Military-level organization requires everything being stored immediately after use and precise arrangement of items in cabinets and storage areas following established patterns. Why disorder indicates laxness connects to Ordnung, literally meaning orderliness, with physical order reflecting spiritual order and discipline, and casual disorganization suggesting spiritual laxness and lack of discipline. How to observe this discipline includes noticing nothing left out on kitchen counters ever, everything being stored in designated places immediately after use, and precise arrangement, extending to straightened chairs and aligned objects. The daily maintenance required proves exhausting, involving constant cleaning and straightening throughout day, children being trained to put away items immediately without being reminded, and no relaxation allowed in maintaining standards regardless of circumstances. Teaching through strict standards means everything having specific designated place that never varies, immediate cleanup required after any use without delay, and understanding that physical orderliness reflects spiritual state. Modern casual living tolerates daily clutter as normal, accepts relaxed home organization without constant maintenance, while their rigid orderliness maintains zero tolerance for mess and requires constant vigilance that prevents relaxation. Only plain clothing. All clothing being uniformly plain in dark solid colors without patterns, prints, or bright colors reveals strictest dress standards being maintained. Dark solid colors only means black, dark blue, or dark purple for strictest communities, with even children wearing somber colors rather than lighter or brighter shades. No patterns, prints, or bright colors anywhere in family wardrobe indicates complete rejection of decorative clothing elements that might express personality or attract attention. Why clothing reveals strictness connects to strict communities requiring darkest colors as most humble, while progressive Amish allow some color variety including lighter blues and greens that still remain modest. How to spot color restrictions includes checking laundry, hanging on clothesline outside for color variety, noticing what colors children's clothing comes in, and observing dress fabrics and styles for any variation. The color symbolism means black and dark blue representing strictest adherence to plainness, while lighter colors suggest some laxness in maintaining most conservative standards. Teaching color discipline includes children understanding which shades are prohibited versus permitted and learning to identify acceptable colors before selecting or making clothing. Modern colorful clothing allows people expressing personality through fashion choices and color preferences, while their color uniformity creates identity through sameness rather than individual expression. No rubber tires. Steel wheels on buggy visible outside indicates strictest communities who reject rubber as modernization and compromise with automobile technology. No rubber, even on farm equipment, means tractors, if allowed, have steel wheels, and all wagons and carts use steel rather than pneumatic tires. Strictest communities reject rubber because it makes travel too easy and comfortable, represents connection to automobile technology. They reject completely, and maintaining difficulty in transportation prevents excessive mobility. Why rubber indicates modernization connects to rubber tires, being automotive technology, making travel distances increase beyond appropriate community boundaries, and comfort in travel representing indulgence that strict communities avoid. How to spot from outside includes looking at buggy wheels for steel versus rubber, checking farm equipment in fields for wheel type, and noticing work wagons and carts around property. The practical difficulties include rough, uncomfortable ride on steel wheels, making long trips difficult, noise and road damage from steel wheels on paved surfaces, and limited travel distance due to discomfort and slow speed. Children sitting. Children remaining motionless during entire visit without fidgeting, playing, or talking demonstrates perfect discipline that only strictest families achieve and maintain. No fidgeting. Playing or talking means children sit with hands folded in lap for hours if necessary, without moving except when explicitly directed by parents. Perfect discipline and control extends to no noise from children, no requests for attention or needs, and complete obedience to unspoken expectations without reminders. Why this indicates strict parenting connects to lax homes, allowing some movement and quiet play, while strict homes demand absolute perfection in behavior that appears unnatural. How to observe child behavior includes watching children during adult conversation to see if they move at all, noticing if they shift position or fidget even slightly, and listening for any sounds children make throughout visit. The training required proves intensive, involving years of strict discipline from infancy forward, swift physical punishment for any violations of behavioral expectations, and teaching absolute obedience through consistent enforcement without exceptions. Teaching absolute obedience means children learning to suppress all natural impulses toward movement and sound, understanding that any deviation brings immediate consequences, and developing capacity to sit motionless that modern children completely lack. These 12 signs reveal strictness level of Amish household immediately to knowledgeable observers who understand what markers indicate. Not all Amish homes show all signs, with most displaying combination of several, depending on their church district standards and family's personal commitment to strictest interpretation. Combination of multiple signs indicating high conservatism helps visitors understand where family falls on spectrum from progressive to ultra-conservative Amish practice. Understanding spectrum of practice prevents assuming all Amish follow identical rules, recognizing tremendous diversity within communities that outsiders often miss. Respecting their choices about strictness level means not judging, but observing and appreciating their commitment to principles they believe preserve